everyone, it's Sakuems. Welcome back to my channel. In this week's video, I'm going to introduce you a new series called Art Talks while working on this new Copic marker and colored pencil artwork. This first art talk will be about 5 ways you could overcome an art block. Before I jump into that topic of discussion, if you have any suggestions for the Art Talk series, like about style, the business side of art, or how to choose your colors, anything, let me know in the comment section. Also, if you have overcome an art block, I would love to know how. This could help a lot of people who watch this video. Little disclaimer though, before I start, this is my personal story and how I was able to overcome it. It may help you or not. If you are going through a really hard time that prevents you from doing what you used to love, please seek help within your community, your friends in real life or online, and your family. Please be aware that this video is going to touch about my past and my current mental states and how mental health can affect your creativity. Also, those are just 5 ways that are specifically targeting art options to get out of art block. This is not really touching mental health support precisely, and just remember that I also did a lot of other things to get better. Lastly, most artists go through an art block. It's not a big deal. The more you stress about it, the worse you will get. If you are going through art block, have no fear. I'm sure this video will help you out. You can find other countless resources online, so feel free to check more videos. I'm going to quickly talk about the artwork, and then I'll explain how I battled through my art block and was able to create again. So this piece was done on a shikishi board, made out of several layers of rice paper and glued on a cardboard paper. I saw this medium, or like this paper thing, in a convention and was used for commissions, and I found it quite interesting because of the golden border. So I got them on eBay. They're quite pricey, and to be honest, I don't really recommend those for Copic marker because they bleed a lot. It was a struggle to fix everything with pencils for in the video. However, I enjoyed working on this piece, and if you are interested, you can maybe get the actual shikishi boards and just use pencil, for example. I wanted to draw a little spring girl, colorful and happy. Her name is Isis, and yeah, if you want to know the colors I've used, I will list them in the description below. Now let's get into the art block discussion. So story time. I have made several videos on my vlog channel with the detailed story. I'm going to briefly summarize what happened to me. So about 2 years ago, I was working a lot on my art. I was juggling between projects. I had my Etsy, Patreon, YouTube, and my art book. Was stressed out, eating too much, not working out, not going out much besides like time with my family, and living alone with my cat. After a few months of that, I started to feel rather sick and thirsty all the time. I got a health checkup and was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Shortly after, my workload got crazy and I was behind. Stress affected my diabetes and I felt extremely isolated and exhausted. 2 months after that diagnosis, my 17-year-old cat started to be sick and sadly left me in August 2016. I was alone, I cancelled my vacations to take care of him, and I spent a lot of my recent income into vet expenses. I couldn't say goodbye. I realized I basically forgot about taking care of me and my life, my social life, and my health. I couldn't stop crying and felt sorry for myself. Had no friends, no boyfriends, no cat. My income was dropping. My diabetes went over the roof. I was obese and lost about 20 pounds within 2 months because I couldn't eat much out of stress, grief, and despair. For the first few weeks, I couldn't hold a pencil. I didn't want to draw because for the past 15 years or so, art was always my happy place. And I couldn't draw if I wasn't happy. And I couldn't allow myself that happy place because I thought I didn't deserve to enjoy anything. I was diagnosed with severe depression in September 2016. After about 4 to 5 months of therapy, family support, major rest, and online friends' help, I started to let go of what happened and focused on what I could do to build my life back slowly. I made 3 artworks between September 2016 and March 2017. They were all stages of my art blog. You can see them on my channel. At first, I didn't want to draw. Then I didn't know what to draw. Then I was afraid I will dislike the darkness I'll paint, and I didn't want to follow that path. Then light came again and slowly my art came back too. Despite therapy, rest, and family support, something was still off and I couldn't get my art back. I started to follow some advices and ultimately it worked. About a year later, I've stepped back from it enough to give insights about what worked for me and what could work for you as well, whether you're going through a mental emotional breakdown or not. So here are 5 ways I overcame my art block. The first way is to find another creative outlet. I couldn't draw, so I wrote in a journal. I was telling stories, mine, others, people around me. I expressed myself in another way that wasn't drawing or painting, and it helped me a lot. I danced, sang to my favorite song, I listened to music a lot, watched movies, TV series, and played games. I used other creative options to help me distract myself and to fuel me back and mentally ignite that spark that was buried deep down. This took weeks for me, and I still use that method today. The second way to tackle art block is to try a new medium. I personally couldn't touch a pencil or a marker, so I tried using a calligraphy pen, Chinese ink, then I also used pastels, and just a random ballpoint pen. Using something new will allow you to start fresh and not feel like you're going back to your old ways. Changing things up can alone already open a new road for your art. This can work hand to hand with the first way. The third way is to find the difference between something being too much to ask for you or something you can push yourself to do. It's a fine line. Sometimes you feel like the wall is too big to climb. You're stuck because you don't have that strength, but it's a mental wall. You can actually find a way to tackle that wall that's blocking you by finding a mental escape, like a ladder or something, and gradually work up from there. It can be by just trying to sketch basic things, draw from observation. Then you can focus on working with just one color. You can also limit yourself by drawing just for like 10 minutes and do something else. It's like starting a new sport. You have to go slow, then you know your limits, and you also know when you can push them a tiny bit more. That's how you get better. For me, it happened because art was my job, and I was pushing myself to make art because it's my job, not because I really wanted to and I felt so much pressure. I cut down the pressure. I allowed myself to relax and not care about the outcome of my work. So by cutting down the pressure, it made it me possible to create a new artwork that, yeah, it's not one of my best, but it was the first step on those stairs, that mental ladder to climb that wall, and it gives me the strength to carry on. The fourth way is to question yourself about what you want in art. Why you are painting or drawing? What was your first and deepest push that made you draw originally? It's time for introspection. Look back at all your work and critique yourself openly. Not by being judgmental, but more like accepting the current state of your work and what you like about it and what you want to improve on. By making a concrete analysis of your art journey, you'll step away from the art block itself and see a broader scope of art in general and what it means to you. To do so, you don't actually need to draw. You need to free your mind and see your art from an objective point of view. Try to quiz yourself about your style, the colors, the technical difficulties, what your art means to you, and what you want it to portray, and so on. This way alone made me realize that because I've changed through all my personal experiences, my art was also different, and I couldn't go back to what I was doing before because that art was from someone else. I was at a turning point. I had to express that change into the piece Broken Flower, which you can see on my channel as well. After making that piece, I knew somehow what I wanted to draw. I wanted my heart to mean something. Then finally, the last way is simply time. When you're blocked, when you are stuck, you need to step back from it. Allow yourself to live your life, to meet people, to talk and have fun, to relax, to do everything but drawing for some time. When you truly love something and it's embedded in you, it will come back. It will fight back on its own. If you allow that spark to remain and take the time to heal yourself with all that I've mentioned, you'll see that you weren't really blocked. You simply had to let go of that, because in the end, you are the one blocking yourself. Don't let art block control you. Be smarter and detach yourself from it. It will be easier and easier every time. After 2 years, I'm extremely proud that I was able to work on what really bothered me and was preventing me from drawing. I didn't really have an art block. I was blocked in other places, therefore there was no place for art. After working on everything else at a time, art slowly came back, and I've been trying ever since to make it a true companion and not be a slave of my own creativity. Be your best friend. Challenge yourself and don't forget to congratulate you each little progress you made. I'm sure everything will be fine eventually, and if you need help, you'll find it somewhere, because every artist has to go through this at least once in his life. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Sorry if it's a rather long video, but this was really dear to me and I wanted to make it for a while. I hope you liked the artwork as well. If you're interested, I do have the originals and print available in my Etsy store. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share to someone who might find it helpful. If you'd like to see more of my videos, then hit the subscribe button and also turn on the bell to receive notifications. Once again, thank you for your support and I'll see you next week. Bye bye everyone.